I passed the bar exam. Guys, 9 P's in the bag. Welcome to CynthiaUNTAMED. This is your youthful and educational platform where we have conversations with and about children and young people in Africa, and we aim to inspire the current generation of leaders across the continent. If you are a current student at the Kenya School of Law and you're sitting there and you're asking yourself, who will tell me that I can do it? You're just praying that somebody just shows up and tells you you can do it. You can get 9 P's. You can pass the bar exam in Kenya. I am here to tell you, it is possible. You can do it. There you go. I have told you. For me, passing the bar is just a miracle. It is a miracle I can't even explain. If you've been following the journey, the frustrations I was going through with doing project work, with preparing for orals, oh my goodness, guys, I even stopped posting videos about Kenya School of Law because I was just asking myself, what happens if I don't pass? And I've been here sharing my journey, the fear, but also the reason why I was also sharing was because I really struggled to find people who had gone through the same process before me, videos that I could watch, just to get tips, encouragement here and there, just to know that I'm not the first person who will be taking the bar exam in Kenya. People have done it before. People have passed. So let me tell you, doing that bar exam for me was even a miracle in itself. First of all, I had 3 options. If you've been following my journey, I've talked about this before. I had 3 options. I had applied to the Stanford Journalism School, Columbia Journalism School, and then third, I had applied for the Advocates Training Program at the Kenya School of Law. And I remember I told God, just make a way. The one that you will choose is the one that I will pick. So last year, Stanford wrote to me and they rejected me for their journalism program. Columbia Journalism School, which is an Ivy League school, accepted me for their journalism program. But guess what? They did not give me a scholarship. I'm telling you, looking for a scholarship is so hectic. I needed 12 million shillings to go study for that program. I never got even a shilling. So the other option I was left with was to go do my advocates training program. I had graduated in 2018, but I did not go to the Kenya School of Law directly. I had gotten an opportunity to work at the UNICEF Kenya country office. So I chose to go work. And then in between, of course, then I found my way back and decided to go to Kenya School of Law, as I have mentioned. But I remember when I was going, I was so sad because in my head I was telling myself, I should be in New York, I should be seeing the life there. But I remember I told God, I have surrendered. If this is what you want me to do, if you want me to go to the Kenya School of Law, I'm going to go and I'm going to work very hard from the first day. So I remember I took my registration documents. Of course, once you apply, you're told to go register, that whole process. And then it just hit me that I couldn't remember anything. I had forgotten lots of concepts from the university, simple concepts like stare decisis, things like that you would expect any lawyer would just mention at their fingertips. So I remember the day I went to now enroll at Kenya School of Law, there was a guy who works for the Law Africa bookshop. And he was just there at the reception selling books. And the moment I saw the books, I decided I was going to buy. And let me tell you, the textbooks for law students are extremely expensive, but I was willing to give everything I could just for this program. So I remember I went to the guy, he's called Fred. I'm even going to leave his contact here so that if you need books from Law Africa, you can also buy. I told him, tell me all the books that the lecturers use. Give me at least one textbook that the lecturers use, and I'll use that as a primary textbook. Also remembering that in my cohort, we did Kenya School of Law fully online. So I remember I bought books and I spent nearly 30,000 Kenya shillings. If you've not watched that video where I was showing the books, just go to that video. I have left the link here. And I came home with the books and I started reading. But before I started reading the textbooks, I retrieved my notes from the university. There was just somewhere stocked up in the house. I got them and I started reading them. But now I couldn't read all the exercise books. So what I did is I looked at the core units at the Kenya School of Law, the 9 units, and I asked myself which ones were the ones that were linked to some of the units at the university. So things like social foundations of law, constitutional law, things like that, criminal law. I started reading my notes, going over just to remind myself of basic concepts. Once I was done with that, I then now started using the textbooks. So in future, I'm going to take you through a step-by-step process from the project work to dealing now with each of the units up to the exam process. So if you are interested, give me a shout out in the comment section, and of course I will do that video. I'll make sure that I do the videos and share them as frequently as possible. And I worked so hard, oh my goodness, during the project. I was even the farm leader. The farm leader, the way I always fear being the group leader in school assignments. This I knew I had to do. So I became the farm leader, and I took the work very seriously because I knew the bar exam was going to be tough. So I took the project work very seriously, and I took the orals very seriously because my target was to get at least half of what was required for me to pass. So you know, to get a pass you need a 50. So for me, I was saying that if anything goes wrong with any unit, it cannot go below 25. 25 is the lowest, but I was targeting 35, 36, just so that I could have a stronger chance at passing the bar exam. In the next videos, I will show you how that actually works, because if you're at the Kenya School of Law right now in 2022, I know you're currently in the middle of your project work, so I can share tips on that. And by the time I was going to the exam, I was so overwhelmed because I was also working. So for me, I was in the evening class. The evening class is the class that runs every weekday from 5:30 to 7:30, and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Oh my goodness, guys. It was not easy, especially those Saturdays. Can you imagine sitting in lectures 8 to 5 p.m. every Saturday for a whole year? It's not the best experience. You get so frustrated, your mind gets so tired. Then I was also working. I was working full-time at UNICEF Kenya. I was a youth leader with the Global Partnership for Education and a youth leader for Generation Unlimited. So that meant that I was constantly working in collaboration with the government of Kenya, the government of the UK, and now with the other United Nations agencies to advocate for the power of education. So there were days I would be in Karura Forest, especially when we're heading to the Raise Your Hand Global Education Summit. I would be at Karura Forest from around 8 in the morning, 9 in the morning, and I would leave there just a few minutes to 5:30. So that meant that I would leave Karura Forest and immediately log into Microsoft Teams and join a class. And I had to stay in all through. And then towards the end of the year, I was doing the President's Award. Oh my goodness, guys. I remember sitting in the University of Nairobi bus, doing trial advocacy project work, and I was still working to get a certificate from the President of Kenya. Guys, it was not easy. It was a struggle. When we're doing the President's Award scheme, I would be in Mombasa with the other students. The other students were having fun. I think for them, they were on holiday. And for me, I had KSL. So it meant that even on Saturdays when guys were now sleeping in, I would have to wake up early to stay in class. Sometimes when we were doing the activities, I would have my earphones plugged in. I have my earphones plugged in, but I'm peeling potatoes for children in a children's home, just so that I could get that certificate but still not miss on class. And I remember it was not easy because some of the students thought I was just being a snob, but I wasn't being a snob. I needed to be present in class, because the thing with Kenya School of Law, if you don't hear what the lecturer has said, you really struggle to understand the concept. And for me, I realized that going over the notes was much more difficult if I didn't hear what the lecturer had said. So for me, I was just like, even if I don't understand the concept in class, let me just hear them say. Let me hear it from the lecturer's mouth saying, Order 51 of the Civil Procedure Rules, Order 14 talks about objections. I'm telling you guys, I just had to hear that so that I could have it in my memory, such that when I was reading, I could have it in my memory and recall. And imagine, guys, it was so difficult. I was in Mombasa for maybe a week or so. And when I came from that, I went for another leadership program called Binti Uongozini by Hans Sidel Foundation. In the end, I got a certificate from the President of Kenya. I got it signed by the President of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta. And I also got a certificate from Binti Uongozini because I also knew it was very important for me to build myself as a leader, even if I was battling with the Kenya School of Law and heading towards the bar examination. So, at the beginning of the year, when now I was heading towards the bar exam, I got a new job. I got a job at the British Broadcasting Company in East Africa, the East Africa Bureau. And I said yes to it. Guys, the transition was extremely difficult because it meant that during the day, I was working as a research journalist at the BBC for a program called the She Word that airs across 16 countries in the continent of Africa. I was working as a researcher. So it meant that during the day, I was learning my new job. How do I get people to come and be hosted on the program? How do I think of new ideas? I had never been to a television studio. Here I was at the studio learning how to use microphones, learning how lighting works, learning how you operate an auto cue, learning how you keep check of the time, hearing all these journalistic terms from the rest of the team. And in the evening, I needed to be in class, starting to prepare for the bar exam. It used to be so difficult, especially when I transitioned to BBC. It was so difficult. I remember I used to drink a lot of water. I was so dehydrated because I was constantly thinking, what do I do? I'm here thinking about my job. I'm here thinking about my schoolwork. So I was always just drinking water. I was constantly thirsty. And the number of times I cried, guys. And then you know what happened at the beginning of the year? So we had been told that our bar exam was going to be in June. And then the Council of Legal Education just came in January and told us the exam was going to be in April. Guys, the amount of work you need to do to prepare yourself, knowing that the exam has been brought ahead by like 3 months. It is not funny. It's not funny. I remember there was a time I was so convinced I was going to defer that exam. But I talked to some of my friends who had been admitted before and they told me, Cynthia, just go and do the exam. Do all the 9 papers. If you don't pass even if it's 1 paper or 2 papers, at least you will have done the big chunk of it. Just go do it. And then the other thing they were telling me, just go do it because you never know. Maybe if you do it, you'll even pass all of them and then you won't have to think about it anymore. So eventually I decided to take the exam. So the first paper is usually civil litigation. Hey, guys, you know that I used to struggle with civil litigation. Here I have read the rules, I have attended classes, I have done group discussions, I have done everything I can just to do that exam. And even when I was going, I was just like, am I 100% prepared? But I felt like at least I'm well prepared. Maybe not 100%, but I'm well prepared. Guys, civil litigation is the first paper. I remember when I was writing, I was in so much doubt. I was doubting everything I was writing. I was even just like, is that really the thing? Is that really the thing? But I remember I kept writing, and I'm going to talk about this in another video because one of the things I really struggled with at the Kenya School of Law was confidence and imposter syndrome. I had imposter syndrome. My imposter syndrome was serious. I even used to Google how to beat imposter syndrome in law school. So I remember I had told myself, even if you are not sure, just write whatever is in your head. The examiner is the one who will decide whether you are right or wrong, but you just write. So I remember I left the civil litigation exam. I got home and I just broke down. I was just like, I cannot do the other 8 papers. I do not have the strength. And then the next paper was legal practice management. I didn't even know accounting. Ah, my gosh. So I was just like, I'm going to an exam. Accounting is a compulsory question. Sometimes it's 20 marks and I have no idea how to do accounting. But I just told myself, after crying and convincing myself that I could just do one more paper, I just told myself, there's no time to master accounting. So master all the theory. So I mastered a lot of theory. And then I told myself, LPM might be more doable than civil litigation. So go and do LPM. Once you do LPM, you don't have to do the papers the following week. So I did legal practice management. And then during the weekend, I thought about it. I was like, no, don't defer. Just go do all the papers for the following week. So once I had done the 5 papers and I was left with 2, I was just like, I've already done 7 exams. Just do the other 2. But guys, the struggle and the self-doubt and the tears and the exhaustion, because oh my goodness, I remember especially after civil litigation, I came home and I had to log into an office meeting after doing civil litigation. After the meeting, I was just crying because I was just like, I can't do this. And I remember I was even telling God, between my job and this exam, one of them is going to have to go. Either I will quit tomorrow or I will not do the exam. But something told me just hold on to both of them. So I held on to the job and I held on to the exam. Oh my goodness, guys. But by the end of the exam, I couldn't even think about what I was going to score. I was just like, what am I going to score? But I remember I went on my knees. I used to really pray to God. I used to tell God, God, just help me to get 9 P's in the first round. I really want to clear from the Kenya School of Law. It's been 2 years since I've had a 2-year break before I came to law school. Please God, help me to win on the first try. I remember I kept praying and I kept crying, and oh my God, the 3 months of waiting, the anxiety was so scary. At some point, I even had to uninstall WhatsApp because people used to have lots of rumors. The results are out. And it took over my brain. So I uninstalled WhatsApp and I just waited. So the day that the results were released, I was talking to a friend on my phone and I was using my computer to just scroll on Twitter. And then I saw one of my schoolmates had posted 9 P's. I thank God. Oh my God. I remember I closed the Twitter handle, the Twitter tab on my computer, and I shut down everything. I uninstalled WhatsApp. By this time, I'd already reinstalled WhatsApp. So I uninstalled WhatsApp again. And I started panicking. I did not have the strength to go and open my results. It took me, I remember the results came in like at around 4 p.m. on a Sunday, 10th of July, I remember. And I think I opened my results at around 11:30 in the night. I did not have the strength. Oh my God. I tried to go and sleep and forget about it. I said I was going to look at the results 3 days later. I couldn't have the strength to see people saying how they've passed and I haven't. But I couldn't sleep, so I just decided to check my results. So I opened my computer. And then I tried to log into my Council of Legal Education portal. And then when I opened, I couldn't see the transcript. So I was like, where's my transcript? So something told me just check the PDF document instead. So I went to the website and then I opened the PDF document. I'm telling you, by the time I was scrolling to my number, because that PDF document had 87 pages, by the time I was scrolling to my admission number, oh, the torture. I was even listening to motivational music in the background. I had read lots of blogs about how to handle any of the outcomes. It was crazy. And then I went to my admission number. I looked at it and I saw P P, 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 up to the very end, and I checked at the end, it was written 9. Oh my God, guys, nobody can take away that moment from you. Nobody. The feeling that you get when you see those 9 P's, hey, it's crazy. It is crazy. I started crying. I started thanking God. I started putting all this gospel music, thanking God. It was crazy. And then I went and told my friends, my parents, my siblings, everybody that needed to know. I told everyone that I had passed. Oh my God, guys, it was the best moment yet. It was oh my God, it was so amazing. I was so happy. I'm telling you, I remember even that night I slept as if I don't know, I couldn't even sleep properly, because I remember I woke up the next day with a headache, but not because I was stressed. It's because I was so excited I couldn't sleep properly. So I had a headache the next day, but I was so happy. I remember I just reflected on all the things I had been through, all the doubts that I had felt, all the times I had asked myself whether I should quit my job at UNICEF, at BBC, for Kenya School of Law, and every time I just kept holding on and telling myself, stay, keep staying there. All the times I would ask myself, should I go to Karura Forest and film a video for the government of Kenya and the UK government, or should I just stay behind and do my classwork? But I just kept showing up everywhere, and oh my God, all the hard work paid, all the sleepless nights paid, all the work I did as a farm leader paid off, all the group discussions I did, the preparations I did for orals, the money I spent on my suit, the money I spent on my textbooks, oh my God, the school fees, it all paid off. And in that moment I was just like, my God, I did it. And even when I went to share my story online, I said I'm not just going to say I got 9 P's. I just said I will put it out there and show what it also took to get the 9 P's, just so that any person who is out there and who is feeling discouraged, who is feeling frustrated by Kenya School of Law at this moment, I can tell you for sure, Kenya School of Law is doable. It is doable. It is possible. That institution has so many fearmongers. Fearmongers, they are crazy. They keep telling you, oh, you know, people fail the 4 C's. Oh, you know, even this unit is the worst. Oh, you know, last year there was just this pass rate. Let me tell you, block your mind. Forget about the fearmongers. Focus, study, attend classes, do group work, finish your project work, revise, go through all the past papers, ask questions, go to the library. If you have to spend more money, on books, on tuition, I don't know what method you will use, as long as it's an honest method, do it, but don't listen to the fearmongers. The first thing, the one secret about conquering Kenya School of Law is conquering your mind. Once you conquer your mind, you will conquer those classes, you will conquer the exams, you will conquer the project work. First, deal with your brain. Get rid of the imposter syndrome. If you can't get rid of it, manage it. And then just take your work seriously. Study, pray, put your best foot forward. Because me, I'm telling you, I was doing all these things and I have gotten 9 P's. Don't let anyone lie to you that Kenya School of Law is where people go to fail. Kenya School of Law is a place where people pass. And even you can pass. And it doesn't matter what you got in KCSE or your undergraduate. People have gotten second law at the university and they've gone on to Kenya School of Law and gotten 9 P's on the first attempt. So you just go and forget about what you scored at the university, what you scored in KCSE, KCP. Forget about those things. CLE does not care. As long as you've gotten the minimum of B in English, that's why you are at the Kenya School of Law, and B in Kiswahili. That is all that matters. Now deal with Kenya School of Law as it is. Forget about all these stories, fearmongers, negativity. Just put those things aside and focus. It's only 9 to 12 months of the academic program. By the end of it all, you will look back and you will say, I am so glad that I took up the challenge. And then I want to encourage you, don't defer the exam. Do not defer the, unless like you have like something that is just beyond you, like you didn't have money to pay for the exam, or something just prevented you. But don't stop going to the exam room because of fear. Don't defer because one paper was hard. Don't defer because you did civil litigation and it was hard, so the next day you decided not to do trial advocacy or something. Just do all the papers every day. Just show up on all the 9 days. Because, you know, let me tell you, you might think that just because today's paper was hard, I won't pass tomorrow's paper. And then you get shocked that you actually passed the paper that you thought you were going to fail. So show up for all the papers. Show up for all the units. Just show up for this Kenya School of Law. It's just once in your life. Once you're done with the academic program, you can now start breathing and making celebratory videos like this. Kenya School of Law is so doable. It is possible. You can do it. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Listen to the person who has gone through this journey, who has done it from the first day to the last day. Someone who had stayed out of school, law school, for 2 years and still went in and conquered Kenya School of Law. It is so doable. The Advocates Training Program is so doable. Do not be afraid. I don't know how much more I will emphasize this point, but me, I'm just telling you, Kenya School of Law is doable. The bar exam is doable, and even you're going to pass. You're going to get 9 Ps. So just believe in yourself. Just believe in yourself. Conquer that exam. You can do it. Let me tell you, conquer the fear. Conquer the fear. And even if you cannot conquer the fear, manage it and do it afraid. Just show up by all means possible. Show up with your finances. Show up with your heart. Show up with your mind. Don't think about those people you're seeing, they're just grasping concepts very easily, because at Kenya School of Law, you'll find the people who just grasp civil litigation like this. Even if you're struggling, it doesn't mean that you're going to fail. It just means that you're taking a longer time to understand things, but it does not mean that you will fail. So you just work hard. You can do it. Oh my gosh, guys, I am just so happy. I am so happy, and I really hope that you are encouraged to just keep fighting, keep believing. You can do this Kenya School of Law. You can finish it. Start strong, finish strong. Just work very hard. I am going to share more videos now, giving you step-by-step processes on how now to conquer the Kenya School of Law. And I really hope that the videos will help you. If you also have videos that you'd want me to make, also just put that in the comment section, and I'll think about how I create the content for that. But I'm going to take you through the project work, the oral exam, and the bar exam itself. I will tell you how I was studying. I'll tell you how to study smart, because remember, let me tell you the truth, you're not going to be able to read everything, no matter how much you try. Even if you sacrifice your social life, you will never finish reading everything. But I'll teach you how to study smart, so that you just study properly, and then you're well prepared for the exam. The trick is to be well prepared. You may not be 100%, but you have to be very well prepared to battle the exam and to score the maximum marks possible to get a pass. Remember, the pass is 50. It is doable, but it's also not easy to attain. So I will tell you how to do that. I really hope you have been inspired. I really hope that you have been encouraged. If you are thinking of quitting Kenya School of Law, deferring because of fear, I'm telling you, don't do it. Don't defer. You have already started. Don't defer because of fear. Don't leave it because of fear. Don't quit because of fear. Don't stop because of fear mongers. Don't keep going. Just keep going. Battle up to the very last day that you write the last paper, which is usually trial advocacy. Up to the day that they will say your time is up, trial advocacy is up, thank you for sitting for the bar exams in Kenya. Up to that day, do not stop working, do not stop praying, do not stop believing, do not stop trusting. Keep pushing forward, and I really do wish you all the best. I send you all my encouragement, I send you all my love, I send you all my excitement, I send you all my motivation and all the energy that you will need to go through this process. As I conclude this video, I would just like to give a shout out to the Canadian High Commission in Kenya and the European Union in Kenya and the UN Women Office in Kenya, who I would credit for giving me this wonderful t-shirt. I think you can see that it reads "She Leads Now." I happened to attend an event at the Canadian High Commission and they gave it to me. The Canadian High Commission in Kenya has really been a very big part of my growth process as a young leader in this country. I started going to the Canadian High Commission residence in 2017 when I was in my third year at the university, attending International Day of the Girls event, watching film screenings on the power of education and the power of young women. So they've really built me all through. And I just wanted to wear this t-shirt particularly for this video because it just has this positive vibe. So I'd really like to thank the Canadian High Commission, UN Women and European Union for this t-shirt. But they also gave me two more things. Let me show you. By the way, look at the bag. Isn't it amazing? This is the Canadian flag. I love it. And then there are two things. There's this thing for the phone. I don't know what you call it. Is that thing you put on the phone. It's written "She Leads Now." The one you put at the back of your phone. I don't know what it's called. And then this really nice sticker that's written "She Leads Now." The reason why I'm actually sharing these things, in as much as they're not related to the bar exam, is because I want to encourage you as a young person to keep leading. Even if you're doing this bar exam, you're at Kenya School of Law, don't stop leading. Don't stop leading in your farm. Don't stop leading in your class. Don't stop leading in your country. Don't stop everything for the bar exam. In fact, all those things should now motivate you to do the bar exam. And that is it for my video today. Thank you for being a very big part of Cynthia Untamed. Please do tell a friend to tell a friend, and I will see you in the next episode.